Sawadee welcome to Hot Thai Kitchen. Today I'm going to share with you a dish that's called Manao, which literally means lime pork. But what it actually is this tender slices of pork drenched in this garlicky, spicy lime dressing, and then you have that with some vegetables. It's a healthy, easy, super refreshing dish that I don't know why I haven't made it up until now, but it's been requested recently and I kind of remembered, oh yeah, that's a great one. So there you go. After years of Hot Thai Kitchen, Manao. Let's get started. So the choice of pork is very important because as you see, this dish is like the pork is the absolute star. I am using pork butt, thinly sliced, and I choose pork butt because it's more flavorful. There's fat on it. You could get away with pork loin as well if you want something leaner, but you want thin slices. And I'm going to season this with some soy sauce. Not too much because the dressing will have a lot of flavor, so you don't want the pork to be too salty, just some seasoning. And as you can see, the pork can be sticky. To help them slide easily from each other, I'm gonna add just a tiny little bit of oil poured from this tiny little thing that I got from my trip to Japan. Just look how cute. I just could not get this, right? It's exactly 1 tablespoon. Now, I'm also gonna add some water. And once the pork has time to marinate, it's going to absorb all of that water, make it more plump, more juicy. Now, some cornstarch. Cornstarch in marinade ends up being what's called velveting. And velveting is basically when you create a layer of film around meat, and when you cook it, that layer of film kind of seals in all the juices. The Chinese do it a lot, Thai people do it a lot too, and that cornstarch is going to be our film right there. But for this, I'm doing a very light velveting. You don't want to overdo it because otherwise it can get slimy if you put too much velveting on. Looks like more liquid now, but trust me, once it has a chance to sit, it will absorb some of that. So give this at least 20 minutes, more than that if you can, but 20 is an absolute minimum. The dressing is super simple and all the basics to Thai cuisine. So of course a chili. And for this, I like to go with a bigger one so I get more color out of it. Or you can put more. And some garlic. I'm gonna pound that down into a paste. All right, so once it's sort of ground up into a paste, I'm just gonna add my palm sugar, my chopped palm sugar, and that is gonna give us some more abrasion, help break down some of the more stubborn pieces. And of course, some fish sauce. And if you've got good fancy fish sauce, now's the time to use it because it's a dish that's light. The fish sauce flavor is prominent. This is when you're gonna taste the difference. And this is Manao. You gotta add some Manao, which is lime juice. Lots and lots of lime juice. To finish it off with some greenery, I've got some chopped cilantro. Throwing it in there. If you don't like cilantro, you can do green onions instead. And that is it. It is done. All right, so time to cook the pork. So Manao is typically just blanched in boiling water, which I've got right in front of me here. And in Thailand, we actually blanch protein a lot. It's quick and easy. Now, as you can see, the pork has absorbed much of the liquid. Like there's barely any pooling liquid left. That's what we want. That means the pork is super juicy. Now, when it comes to blanching protein, you can overcook the pork very easily. Therefore, what I'm going to do is I'm going to blanch the pork in this sieve here. And this means that when it's done, I can lift the whole thing out. I don't have to spend time like fishing around for it. And so that way I can ensure I don't overcook it. All of this is going in at once, and it's literally going to take 15 seconds. The pork is so thin. I'm just going to use chopsticks to spread them out. And you want to use a wide sieve for this so all the little bits of velveting can fall through and you don't end up dragging it all out. That's it. Now, I'm also going to dunk it in my bowl of warm water right here. And that's just ensure that sometimes, there's bits of the cornstarch mixture that's in there, and I'm just kind of rinsing it to get rid of any extra cornstarch bits. Because the dressing's so light, if you've got like any extra cornstarch bits, sometimes you do feel a bit of a slipperiness in your mouth. So we don't want any of that. And that is done for the pork. So we are ready to serve, but we need some fresh vegetables to sort of help balance the heaviness of the meatiness of the pork. So typically it's served with some shredded cabbage to line the bottom of the plate and also some fresh vegetables. And classically they use raw Chinese broccoli, the stems and the leaves, but I prefer broccoli stems because I find Chinese broccoli raw sometimes it's a little bitter. So I just take broccoli stems and I peel the outside because the outside can be tough. Soak it in some cold water and it's crisp and cold, goes really well with the pork. I got some mint leaves to go, for some people who want to munch on mint as well. It's really, really nice. So here, you got your pork on the bed of cabbage. Ooh, I can feel with my tongue how soft the pork is. Ooh, I'm salivating already. Now you could toss the pork with the dressing, but it just looks better when all the bits of garlic and chilies sort of resting on top of the pork. Oh, so good. Look at that. And you got to make sure there's no bald spots anywhere. And now I'm going to put just some mint leaves on top because it's so cute. And there you have it, Manao. So easy, so delicious, as I am about to show you. I'm gonna make sure I get some pork. Oh, that's a big one. Some cabbage. So the cabbage is not just there to like garnish the plate or to make it look like there's more pork than there actually is. It really does go well together. I want to make sure I get a mint. Oh, that smells so good. The texture of that pork is unreal. It's soft, it's tender, but it's got a bit of a bounce. And that's why I prefer pork butt too, because it does have that bounce that pork loin doesn't have. It's garlicky, it's limey, it's spicy, the perfect balance of sour and salty and spicy. And the vegetables really do balance it out. You can have this with rice. You can have this just on its own. And somebody on my Instagram said that looks like it would be good in a taco. And sir, you are absolutely right. It would be so good in a taco. So the recipe, as always, will be on hotthaikitchen.com. When you make it, send me a photo on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Oh, and also I am on Pinterest as well if any of you are pinners. And if you haven't subscribed to the show, make sure you do so you don't miss an episode. And make sure you click that little bell icon to get a notification when I post a new video. If you love the show and you want to support us, check out our Patreon link in the description below, and I will see you next time for your next delicious Thai meal.